Good day, level casters. Today, we embark on a profound journey through one of the most turbulent periods in modern history, the Great Depression. This era, which cast a long shadow over the 1930s, was far more than a mere economic downturn. It was a cataclysmic event that reshaped societies, redefined governmental roles, and left an indelible mark on the collective consciousness of nations across the globe. Our exploration will delve into the intricate web of circumstances that led to its genesis, tracing its devastating trajectory and examining the myriad ways in which it fundamentally altered the socio-economic and political landscapes. We'll unpack the complexities of market crashes, the insidious creep of unemployment, and the desperate human stories that unfolded amidst unprecedented hardship. Understanding the Great Depression isn't just about recounting historical facts. It's about discerning the crucial lessons it offers regarding economic fragility, the interconnectedness of global finance, and the resilience of the human spirit in the face of overwhelming adversity. Prepare to engage with a narrative rich in detail, historical significance, and enduring relevance, as we uncover the profound impact of this pivotal chapter in human history. We will analyze the cascading effects that began with a dramatic stock market collapse and spiraled into a decade-long struggle, touching every corner of the world and challenging prevailing economic theories. This deep dive will not only enhance your historical knowledge but also refine your ability to comprehend and articulate complex historical narratives in English. The roots of the Great Depression were deeply embedded in the seemingly prosperous, Roaring Twenties, a decade characterized by unchecked optimism, speculative investment, and a burgeoning consumer culture. While the surface glittered with jazz, flappers, and new technologies like radio and automobiles, structural weaknesses were quietly festering beneath. Agricultural overproduction, for instance, led to plummeting farm incomes long before the stock market crashed, creating a significant disparity between urban and rural prosperity. Furthermore, an unequal distribution of wealth meant that a large segment of the population lacked the purchasing power to sustain the booming industrial output, leading to an eventual glut of unsold goods. The international economic landscape was equally precarious, burdened by war debts from World War I and a fragile system of international trade and finance. American banks had extended substantial loans to European nations, particularly Germany, for reconstruction and war reparations payments to Allied powers like France and Britain, which in turn relied on these payments to repay their own debts to the United States. This circular flow of money was inherently unstable, vulnerable to any disruption in the chain. The speculative bubble in the stock market, fueled by easy credit and a widespread belief that prices would only ever go up, became the most visible symptom of this underlying instability. Ordinary people, alongside seasoned investors, poured their savings into stocks, often buying on margin, borrowing money to purchase shares, a practice that amplified both potential gains and, crucially, potential losses. This speculative frenzy created an artificial sense of wealth, masking the fundamental economic imbalances that were quietly accumulating pressure, ready to erupt. The stage was set for a dramatic and inevitable reckoning, one that would expose the fragility of the entire system. The fateful turning point arrived with stark brutality on October 24, 1929, a day infamously known as Black Thursday. The stock market, which had been experiencing some tremors in the preceding weeks, began to plummet dramatically. Panic seized investors as millions of shares were dumped onto the market, far outstripping demand. The subsequent Black Monday and Black Tuesday saw an even more catastrophic collapse, wiping out billions of dollars in paper wealth almost overnight. This market crash, while not the sole cause, acted as the immediate trigger, shattering public confidence and unleashing a domino effect throughout the economy. Banks, having invested heavily in the stock market and lent money for speculative purchases, faced massive losses and a wave of withdrawals by terrified depositors. Bank runs became commonplace, leading to widespread bank failures and the evaporation of savings for countless individuals and families. Businesses, unable to secure loans or facing drastically reduced consumer demand, began to cut production, lay off workers, or close their doors entirely. Unemployment skyrocketed, reaching an unprecedented 25% in the United States by 1933, with millions more underemployed. The human cost was immense. Widespread poverty, homelessness, and hunger became stark realities. Families lost their homes and farms, leading to mass migrations, epitomized by the Dust Bowl, refugees fleeing drought-stricken farmlands in the American Midwest. International trade ground to a halt as countries implemented protectionist policies, exacerbating the global nature of the crisis. The optimistic spirit of the Roaring Twenties was replaced by a pervasive sense of despair and desperation, as individuals and governments grappled with an economic catastrophe of unparalleled scale and severity. The world teetered on the brink, searching for solutions to a seemingly insurmountable crisis. In the face of such overwhelming devastation, governments worldwide were compelled to abandon traditional laissez-faire economic policies and adopt more interventionist approaches. In the United States, President Franklin D. Roosevelt's New Deal programs represented a monumental shift. This ambitious series of reforms and government initiatives aimed to provide relief for the unemployed and poor, foster economic recovery, and reform the financial system to prevent a recurrence. Programs like the Civilian Conservation Corps, CCC, and the Public Works Administration, PWA, put millions of people back to work on infrastructure projects, while the Social Security Act established a foundational social safety net. Internationally, similar, though often less comprehensive, efforts were made to stabilize economies and alleviate suffering. The Depression profoundly reshaped political landscapes, leading to increased government regulation, the rise of welfare states, and, in some cases, the emergence of extremist ideologies offering radical solutions. The economic theories of John Maynard Keynes, advocating for government spending to stimulate demand during downturns, gained significant traction and became influential in shaping post-Depression economic policy. While the New Deal and similar global efforts provided crucial relief and laid the groundwork for recovery, it was ultimately the massive mobilization for World War II that provided the full economic stimulus needed to lift the world out of the Depression's grip, ushering in an era of unprecedented industrial production and employment. The Great Depression, therefore, stands as a stark testament to the fragility of economic systems and the profound impact of human decision-making, offering invaluable lessons that continue to inform economic policy and social welfare initiatives to this day. Its legacy is a constant reminder of the importance of robust financial regulation, social safety nets, and international cooperation to prevent future calamities.
That was a really comprehensive overview of the Great Depression.
Absolutely. It covered a lot of ground, from its causes to its lasting impact.
I found the discussion about the Roaring Twenties being a precursor quite insightful.
Yes, the idea of hidden weaknesses under prosperity is a powerful lesson.
And Black Thursday sounds terrifying, the suddenness of the market crash.
It truly highlights the volatility of unchecked speculation.
The human cost, like the breadlines and homelessness, is heartbreaking.
It makes you appreciate the resilience of people during such hardship.
The New Deal's introduction of government intervention was a huge shift.
Indeed, it challenged the traditional hands-off approach to economics.
It's fascinating how a crisis can lead to such significant policy changes.
Economic theory itself evolved dramatically in response to it.
And the connection to World War II for full recovery is something I hadn't considered deeply.
War often acts as a massive economic stimulus, though at a terrible cost.
The legacy of the Depression still feels relevant today, doesn't it?
Definitely, especially regarding financial regulation and social safety nets.
It's a stark reminder of economic fragility.
And the importance of international cooperation.
I learned so much from this session.
Me too. It was very well presented.
That was a great lesson.
I agree. Keep learning, Levelcasters.
Until next time, Levelcasters, keep exploring, keep learning.